Okay. We got some changes today. PTR. Let's take a look. All of these cool things that just happened. So, Blood Decay. 2-set bonus now triggers from consuming runic power. Has previously been triggering on consuming bone shield charges. Okay. I imagine that this is way better and more controllable. Now, I don't know what the fuck the set bonus does, but I'd imagine this is better. Okay, 4-piece from Frost. Chance to trigger reduced to 30%. Okay. And reduce the cooldown of power room by 6 seconds was 10. So they nerfed the Frost set bonus one. Fixed an issue with Chill Streak not decrementing a bounce when it bounced off Death Knights. DH. A lot of fucking changes here. Demon Hunter Talents updates will starting to roll in as they become ready. Starting with Havoc Tree changes in this week's PTR build. In some cases, talents may be missing or marked as work in progress, but there are enough changes to the Havoc Tree and individual talents that we'd like to get in the player's hands to begin gathering feedback. Vengeance and Class 2 changes are coming soon. The Spectral cooldown is now 1 minute and 30 seconds. Cooldown. It was 1 minute 30 with a rank 2 talented. Okay. Does this mean that this talent is now gone? Folder to Flame Demon now revealed by Fodder to the Flame Demon now revealed by Spectral Psych. Fodder to the Flame Demon now takes fatal damage from I-Beam / Feldev in addition to Froglaive. Fodder to the Flame buff is now... Okay, Fodder to the Flame, that's the set bonus, right? Is now granted immediately upon killing demon, or upon collecting souls. Wait, what is even this? Fodder to the Flame. I need to wow hit this. The fuck is this spell? This little demon you get. Aha! First side reveals a condemned demon for 25 seconds. I-Beam and Froglaive deal lethal damage to the demon, granting 20% increased damage. The demon explodes upon death. Shadow damage to nearby enemies and healing you for 20%. Aha! Okay. I see. Metamorphosis. Okay, so now it's a 3-minute cooldown instead of 4 minutes. Darkness now at a 50% chance to avoid all damage from an attack. Chance to avoid damage increased by 100% when not in a raid. The darkness is actually stronger in 5 minutes. First of the Illidari has been removed. Let's see, what the fuck is that? This. The forces grants 10% Versa and its cooldown is reduced by 60 seconds. Aha, okay. So you had a talent that made a 3-minute cooldown and gained you 10% Verse. But now it's a 3-minute cooldown baseline and you don't have this talent. Okay, meta duration reduced to 20 seconds. Was 24. So meta is now shorter duration. Demonic Appetite is now baseline for Havoc and causes souls to generate 20 Fury. Was 30. Spell Eruption is now baseline for Havoc. That's kind of nice, to be honest. Glaive, like for dungeons. Glaive Tempest cooldown increased to 25 seconds. Was 20 seconds. Damage increased by 15% and damage reduced beyond 8 targets. Was 5. A Fell Barrage has been redesigned. No longer channeled. Drains 15 Fury per tick. Lasts until Fury is depleted. Damage reduced beyond 5 targets. Was 8. Okay, so they nerfed the amount of targets that gets affected by Fell Barrage. But it's now you don't channel it anymore. You just go max Fury and then it lasts until Fury is depleted. Does that mean that it's just up? As long as you keep generating Fury, you can maintain it longer or what? Like if you just keep generating Fury, you can maybe get a couple more ticks, or what? Because I imagine you can cast during Fell Barrage since it's not a channel anymore. Initiative's effect is no longer triggered or denied by the damage over time effects. This is initiative. Damaging an enemy before you... for 5 seconds. Oh, this is like first strike. Use eventually treat with your potential to activate this effect on enemies you're in combat with. Okay. So it's no longer triggered or denied by damage over time effects. So that means that, like, if you have a dot on something, like I say, you go in with Immo Aura, it won't trigger the initiative, so you can swap targets. Like it's just like it doesn't this just mean that like dots don't trigger it, which is I guess good. It just gives you more uptime, I'd imagine. It no longer, initiative effect is no longer triggered, and it's also not denied by damage over time effects. It's not the other way around, or like it doesn't trigger from dots, and it's not denied by dots either. Yeah. So if you get a dot on you from a target, and if you dot a target, you can still use it. What else? Momentum now increases damage by 6%, was 8%. Last 6 seconds was 5, and duration stacks to a max of 30 seconds was 10 seconds. Okay. So it's a lot easier. Instead of you having to use all your you can stack momentum up high. Which is, this sounds like a very big quality of life for demon hunters, no? Am I wrong? I don't know exactly how much, like how fast you can stack it up nowadays, but it does seem like you can choose when to like press things. Like you can front load the momentum buff if you have a lot of shitty mechanics coming up. It's still bad. Okay. It just seems like it's better than it is now, but maybe still shit. People still won't like it. Okay. New talent, Inertia. When empowered by Unbound Chaos, Fill Rush increases damage by 20% for 5 seconds. New talent, Unbound Chaos. Oh, it's when you activate Immo Aura. Damage your next Fill Rush by 20%. 250%. Okay. So it's like you activate Immo Aura, your Fel Rush is 250%, but when you do press Fel Rush, all your damage after Fel Rush is increased by 20 seconds. The 20% for 5 seconds. Fel Rush now enforces a global cooldown of 0.5 seconds, was 0.25. Fellblade now enforces a global cooldown of 0.5 seconds, was 1. Okay, so Fellblade is the one where you charge to your target, right? Isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so that just means that you have, when you press Fellblade, you have more control of your character, right? It's normal, it's half a second GCD. But Fel Rush has a longer GCD now. This is not implemented yet, it says work in progress. You got a new talent called Deflecting Dance. Blade Dance deflects incoming attacks, absorbing damage up to 15% of your maximum health. I don't know if you guys remember, but Blade Dance had the ability to give you 100% dodge, and to dodge a lot of fucking physical damage abilities in M+ back in the day. They're kind of doing the same thing here. Giving you a 15% max HP absorb every time you press Blade Dance. This is really fucking sick, by the way. One of the reasons why Demon Hunter was so fucking OP defensively in M+ back then was, first of all, you had crit versatility. You baseline a lot of verse. You had an immense amount of leech. And then you had the Blade Dance dodge. So like, and Blur, of course. But like, it was mainly the leech and the passive damage reduction you had from magic damage and whatnot. I mean, having Blade Dance give you a 15% max HP absorb, it's really good. It's really good, I think. Okay, new talent's also work in progress. A Fire Inside. MOR has 1 additional charge and 30% chance to refund the charge when activated. You can have multiple MORs up at the same time. How much of your total damage in a dungeon is like MOR? Is it like, is this big? It's a Gamba talent. I mean, it's a Gamba talent, sure. But you have 2 charges, right? You can MOR, see if it procs, and then you can literally... I mean, it's very simple, right? You just MOR on cooldown. If you get a charge, you get a charge. I think it's still pretty cool, no? Fellfire Heart has been removed. What is that talent? Okay, so you cannot increase the duration of Immo Aura and Sigil of Flame anymore. Fel Rush damage increased by, so you just get a baseline 6% damage increase from Fel Rush. Unbound Chaos is now a 1-point talent, was 2, and increases the next Fel Rush damage by 250%. Okay, so you can, so you get a baseline damage increase to compensate for the fact that they're reducing the top end of the damage increase from this talent. But you only commit 1 point, and you get 50% more from the first point, and a 60% baseline. That means you can commit 1 point in somewhere else, right? Critical Chaos is also just a 1-point talent now, and has a chance to rehold 30% of a critical strike chance, and before it was 20-40. Okay, it has a chance to refund. Fuck is that? Aha! Increases critical strike damage dealt by Chaos Strike by 6%. But what does this mean? Has a refund chance? And I think this was the wrong talent I picked, right? This seemed weird. This one. The chance that Chaos Strike will refund 20 Fury is increased by 30% of your critical strike chance. Ah, okay, I see. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, so it's pretty much like you have a 30% of a critical strike chance. I see. Dancing with Fate is now a 1-point talent. So Blade Dance final slash damage bonus is increased. Again, just a 1-pointer, and it's 25% instead of 40 for 2 points. Blind Fury is a 1-point talent. Eye-Beam generates 40 Fury per second, was 20-40, and has 10% increased damage and duration. So the Fury generation is the same as it was with the 2 points. But it has a 10% increased damage and duration instead of 20. But it seems like you're getting a lot of points. Like, that's the main thing. You can commit all of these points that you're losing into something else. Serrated Glaives is now a 1-point talent, and it's been adjusted. Enemies hit by Chaos Strike or Froglaive. It was only Froglaive before, so now Chaos Strike is added. Take 15% increased damage from Chaos Strike and Froglaive. Before it was Chaos Strike and Eye-Beam. Now it's Chaos Strike and Froglaive. And it's 15% instead of 20 for the second point. And so you save a point as well. I imagine that this is a... I mean, what is the set bonus nowadays? I know that it's a Froglaive based set bonus, is it not? I need to... I think, let me see what... I need to bring it up. Thank you for linking that. So set bonus here. I can have this up. Sigil of Flames perk damages a chance to flare up. Shattering an additional soul fragment from a target and dealing additional damage. Each 40 Fury spent, its cooldown is reduced by 1 second. When you attack a target affected by Sigil of Flame, your damage and healing is increased by 2%. And your maximum health is increased by 2% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 5. Okay. I'm looking at the vengeance right now, I'm stupid. Each slash of Blade Lance has 50%. I was like, huh? Okay, Blade Dance has 50% chance to Froglaive an enemy. Okay, so yeah, again, each time you Blade Dance, you can do Froglaive. So Froglaive damage here. And Froglaive reduces the cooldown of the hunt. And the hunt's damage up effect lasts 4 seconds longer. Okay, so let's continue. So every time you Blade Dance, you have a chance to Froglaive. The Growing Inferno is now 1 point talent. Was 2. Increases damage by 10% per tick. Growing Inferno. Each slash has 4 total chances. Yeah. This conduit. Okay, this is talent. Immo Aura's damage increased by 10% and each time it deals damage. What? Guys. This Growing Inferno, 10% damage increase per tick from 1 point instead of 2, so you save a point. But this sounds really good with this talent as well, right? A Fire Inside. Immo Aura has 1 additional charge and 30% chance to refund the charge when activated. And you can have multiple Immo Auras up at the same time. Yeah, Immo Aura is going to be really good, I think. For sure. Isolated Prey has been adjusted. No longer causes Fel Rush to Grand Fury. It now causes Immo Aura to deal 30% increased damage. Okay. Let's see here. Isolated Prey. It no longer causes Fel Rush to Grand Fury. It now causes Immo Aura to deal 30%. Okay, so they removed the Fel Rush thing, and now it looks like this. So Isolated Prey. Wait. Chaos Nova gains bonuses when striking 1 target. Does this mean that it's single target Chaos Nova only? I'd imagine. But 30% increased damage on Immo Aura on single target, 30% I-beam on single target, and yeah, okay. I mean, the Chaos Nova one is kind of like a little bit whatever, right? It's very rare to use Chaos Nova single target. But good thing now is that, like we also saw, a Fel Eruption is baseline, guys. You now have a baseline stun as well, so you're not a... you actually have some utility now, which is kind of good. Because, like, there was no one that, like, played, what's it called? Fel Eruption in dungeons, right? I don't remember the last time, like, someone played Fel Eruption in a dungeon. Darkness change is good. I mean, it just made Darkness better in Firemans, right? If you look here, Darkness... That's 15... Yeah, so... chance to avoid damage is increased by 100% when not in a raid. It's better in Firemans. Gonna be Havoc Rogue season for sure. I mean, could be. Could be. Could be. Isolated Prey has been adjusted. No longer causes it. Yeah, then when we saw Vengeance, 2-set bonus, chance to trigger, reduced for each target beyond the first. What was the... Yeah. The set bonus of Vengeance. Wait, what was it? So the 2-set bonus reduced. Okay. Guardian Druid. Rash Regeneration Blood Frenzy has a target cap. Dreamforce now absorbs 25% of the damage dealt to you while active. Was 10%. And the duration is increased to 45 seconds. Is this a massive damage nerf? Okay. Resto. Daenerys Guardian no longer spawns an additional Grove Guardian at the beginning of the Incarn. I don't even know what that means. Daenerys Guidance. Wait, which one is the new one? Grove Guardian. During Incarn, Tree of Life, you summon a Grove Guardian every 10 seconds. The cooldown of Incarnation is reduced by 5 seconds when Grove Guardian... Okay. So it doesn't spawn an additional one. So it makes Incarn longer cooldown, I guess. You just get less CDR. Daenerys Guidance now reduces cooldown of Incarn when a Grove Guardian fades. Was 4 seconds. Grove Guardian is now present on the totem bar. Augmentation got nerfed as well. Augmentation's contributions to the party, particularly in Impulse, are too impactful and making it difficult for other compositions to shine. As a result, we're doing some targeted nerfs to their group utility by reducing the value of Aspect's Favor, Molten Blood, and Even Might. So, Aspect's Favor is when you press your wall, you give increased HP to your group. Now that is when you are in black attunement, you do have increased like HP on the group, but you get additional HP when you press wall. Now it's 4% instead of 6%. Molten blood absorption reduced. I don't remember molten blood. Cast. Okay, it's the blistering scales shield. I see. So the blistering scales shield is reduced by 50%. Even might is reduced by 2%. It's 2% main stat, 8% main stat instead of 10. So those are the changes currently. Like, I don't know, like, if this is gonna be impactful enough for it not to be still fucking good, but I think it's still gonna be worth, probably. Like, you're still getting, like, the versatility is untouched, right? That you're giving to the player. Okay, preservation, Spirit Bloom healing increased. Okay, Spirit Bloom healing increased has been reverted. Okay, so they just removed that. Rewind recovers 33% of damage taken in the last 5 seconds. So they nerfed rewind. That was one thing, by the way. They nerfed a fuck ton of raid buffs, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw, like, tons of raid cooldowns got nerfed. Okay, so now we're on Mage. The duration of Forefight has been increased to 20 seconds, was 15. So they made the 4 bonus a little bit better. You get the Arcane Missile damage increase after consuming 3 clear casting stacks instead of 6. And the Arcane Missile is now 150% damage increase. And 100% increased damage to nearby targets. So it's like slightly better. Now, I think fire is still gonna be the hot shit, though. Look here. They increased the set bonus to be 4% per stack instead of 3%. So that is 5% on the crit damage. Goes from 15 to 20. Now, the 4 set makes you gain 150% on top of that instead of 100%. So it's 20. So it's 50% crit damage during combustion. That's fucking crazy, by the way. And there was also, you can see here, there's an issue currently with Mage that makes the crit damage bonus from the set bonus not attribute correctly to Ignite. You can see this overflowing energy, wildfire, and searing rage. And this will be fixed in the next week's PTR build. So, if you log on Mage now, expect to be like a couple percentage like better from this PTR fix. If I remember, it was like around 3 to 4% loss from this bug. And maybe it's even more now, because the fact that Ignite is not contributing accurately, and to an ability, they just got, like, to a set bonus, they just got buffed. Like, I'm not sure if they mapped it out already, but before they changed the set bonus, it was, let me see, it was around 3 to 4% single target loss. Things like damage went from 140k to 146k. They posted on Mage Discord. Yeah, but this is without the... is this calculating the Ignite fix as well? Or no? Oh, it is. Okay. But then they also calculated... The 140k initially was also with the Ignite being fixed, I'd imagine. Is my girlfriend okay? Yeah, I mean, she's just having fun. Playing Baldur's Gate with her stream. Gate Serpent Statue Soothing Mist Healing increased by 40%. What else? Use a bonus Chi Harmony, now stores 20% of all healing, was 15. Healing AC has been redesigned as a passive effect. You consume a healing AC when you drop below 35% health and are not in a loss of control effect. Unison's range increased to 40 yards. Any chance we see Hunter in the race walls first? Yes. You could definitely see some Hunters. Hunter's really good right now. We're continuing to monitor the set bonus and feedback around it, as the auto attack trigger was not accomplished the intended goal of providing Windfoot only during lulls and quiet points in rotation. We've updated the bonus to trigger off all melee abilities damage and normalize trigger frequency. Okay, I mean, Windwalker needs some serious love, bro. Like, because Windwalker's fucking shit. Blackout kick damage increase is now 150%, was 100. Cooldown reduction increase to 2 seconds, was 1 second. Fixed an issue to prevent the Windfoot from being correctly consumed when spinning crit kick was used. Fixed the issue to cause Windfoot to be consumed when Dance of Chi-Chi empowers a spinning crit kick. Fixed an issue to prevent a Dance of Chi-Chi from granting blackout reinforcement. The changes are applied to the PTR late last week. Okay. Windfoot now triggers off melee abilities in addition to auto attacks and has been shifted to a normalized proc model. Blackout reinforcement tool to update to reflect the updated cooldown reduction value. Let's see here. Blackout reinforcement. Why do I not see that? Why is there no results? Whatever. It's the tier set. Wait, where's Monk? Hunter, Pala, Mage, Monk. Here. No, that's Eben Toes. Power blackout kicks. Alright. We skip that. Healing is reduced by 5%. Was 3%, so additional healing nerf. At least baseline. Hand of Divinity. Okay, Holy Light talent worse. 40% instead of 80. Saved by the Light absorb shield, so you get increased absorb from Saved by the Light. Is that some kind of like... I'd imagine that this is something that... Why can I not see all of this shit, man? It's wild being shit. When an ally with the Beacon of Light is damaged below 30%, they absorb the next. You cannot shield the same person this way twice. Okay. So the target with your beacon is absorb shield when they go below 30%, it's just increased. Less focus now increases healing of Glimmer of Light. It's 4% increased instead. So Glimmer does more with this talent. Merciful Hour healing is now increased by 20% while Hour Mastery is active. Okay. So 20% instead of 50. That's quite big, oh no? Wait, Merciful Hour healing increased by 15%. Aha, wait. So this is a talent that increases your... It's just like it's worse doing cooldowns, but it's and then Touch of Light healing now increased by 500% or 700%. Word of Glory increased by 10%. Barrier of Fate now creates an absorb based on 25% of healing done. Was 50. Our Mastery increased the effectiveness Devour to 12%. Was 15. So our Mastery is nerfed. I did read Arcane, yes. We're gonna be trying some of these things, of course, after. Then we have Protection Warrior. It grants damage reduction instead of armor. Makes sense. Maximum stack reduced to 5. Each granting 2% damage reduction. So you get 2% damage reduction per stack. You only need 5 stacks. to reach the max amount, whereas before you needed 10 stacks to reach the max amount, but it was 10% armor. That's way better, it seems like. I mean, fucking 10% armor versus 10% DR from all sources. That has to be way better. So red. Due to previous bugs with targeting issues on Raffle Sanction, the ability was a bit undertuned. Following these bug fixes, we're returning the set bonus to better hit our tuning targets. Was this set bonus? Additional with the amount of uptime that this 4 set bonus provides, it was overperforming in tandem with a few of the red talents located deeper in the tree. We appreciate everyone's feedback and playtesting, and we'll keep making adjustments to this set's power as necessary. Okay, so Expersion, now 30% instead of 50. Raffle Sanction now deals 50% of the main holy damage to up to 4 nearby enemies. Was 20. Okay. Echoes of Wrath now cause your next Templar's Verdict and Divine Summon to deal a second time for 25% instead of 50% effectiveness. Okay. With life 2.5 like mana increase whenever you use it. Powered life cooldown decreased to 15 seconds was 30 seconds. But its cooldown is no longer decreased when cast on targets below 35% health. Powered life is now only usable on targets below 35% health. Okay. Powered life healing increased by 500% and no longer increases healings on targets below 35% health. So sounds like a fucking permanent lay on hands every 15 seconds. It's instant cast, or? I mean, this is kind of insane. It seems like. I mean, it's like a. It doesn't this top you, and you cannot fail it. No, but see, it was insane. Now it's shit. Why is it shit? So it has base mana cost increased. Its cooldown is reduced by 15 seconds. But the cooldown. Okay, wait. So what was the cooldown? Does this just make that it's not failable? Like, if you used it on a target below 35% health, what was the cooldown of it before? Yeah, 15. Okay, so it's just baseline 15 seconds now. It just means that you cannot fail it anymore, right? But now you can't use it if it's above that heal. Did you use Power with Life before on targets that weren't on 30, like above 35%? Is it like one of the... Then it's just a quality of life thing, or? This is not bad. If anything, you try to snipe a target that's 35% health, he gets a random heal, you try to press your Power Word Life, it doesn't go off, you don't waste the global. It seems way more nice, or? I feel like. Okay, we heard feedback that Shadow Covenant and the talent tree in general will be more flexible and interesting if Shadow Fiend were a more viable option. So Shadow Covenant now grants a higher damage increase with Shadow Fiend. Also tied in the duration with the duration of Shadow Fiend or Mindbender to make using Inescapable Torment more enjoyable. Finally, we reduced the overall value of Shadow Covenant, particularly with Mindbender, and distributed some of the power into penance. To nudge discipline a bit closer towards consistent damage instead of heavy burst windows. Okay. Ultimate Penitence now takes into account your primary targets and prioritize healing bolts if an ally is selected, or damaging bolts if an enemy is selected. Damage and healing increased by 25%, and an initial tick has been added to the start of the channel. Oh. This is the one where you become a fucking zoomer. Ascend into the air and unleash a barrage of penance bolts. While ascended, you gain a shield of 50% of your health. In addition, you are unaffected by knockbacks or crowd control effects. Embrace Shadow has been removed. Twilight Corruption remain in its location and continues to increase Shadow Covenant's effectiveness by an additional 10%. Shadow Covenant duration now matches the duration of Mindbender at 12 seconds. Or 7 seconds. Okay. So you used Shadow Covenant together with Mindbender. And Mindbender had 12 seconds, right? Yeah. Shadow Fiend enters you into a shadowy pact, transforming Halo, Divine Star, and Penance into shadow spells, and increases damage and healing of your shadow spells by 25% while active. Okay. So it's 12-second cooldown, 12-second duration instead of 7. Shadow Covenant now grants 10% shadow damage and healing, increase with Mindbender, or 25% with Shadow Fiend. Was 25% with either one. Aha, okay. So it's 10% shadow damage with Mindbender and 25% with Shadow Fiend. But Mindbender has 1 minute cooldown, Shadow Fiend is still 3 minutes, right? The visuals has been improved. Penance and damage and healing is increased by 15%. Mindbender and Void Summoner have swapped locations in its talent tree. Okay. I don't know what that means in your tree, if that's like a good thing or not. I imagine it's a good thing. So Smite, Mind Blast, and Penance cast reduce the cooldown of Mindbender and Shadow Fiend. So you have a CDR talent. Okay, so this is the Void Summoner. That's a good talent, it looks like. Void Summoner reduces cooldown of Shadow Fiend by 4 seconds, or Mindbender by 2 seconds. Okay, so they made Shadow Fiend get more CDR. And bear in mind that they nerfed, well, they didn't nerf, they made Shadow Covenant last 12 seconds, so it's longer duration now, to match the duration of Mindbender. But Shadow Covenant is only 10% damage and healing with Mindbender, but it's 25% with Shadow Fiend. Before it was 25 for both. Could this mean that you don't want to play Mindbender? Or maybe not. But thus, you do get more CDR from Shadow Fiend than you did before. Fixed an issue causing Mindbender to sometimes return to your side immediately upon being summoned. Return to your side. Does that mean like you send it out and then it comes back to you? Expiation increases Mind Blast and Shadow with death damage by 1530. It was 1020. Okay, so you get the better talent there. Wheel and Woe increase smite damage by 20% per stack. Before it was 12 per stack. And Power Word Shield by 10% per stack. It was 5%. Am I wrong in saying that, like, didn't this feel good before? And now they made it even better? They said that they want to make adjustments so it's less bursty class and more consistent damage. Thank you, Meta, for the 17. Now there's some holy ones. With the flash healer and heal buffs, Trail of Light was overperforming, so we're reducing its value to match its previous power level. We're also increasing the value of Pontifex, since it was an unpopular talent. Finally, we're making Echo of Light's period faster, so it's more responsive to damage. Okay, Prayer of Mending reduced by 5%. Magic Echoes increase the healing of Echo Light by 4/8 instead of 6/12. So they nerfed that talent. The Echo of Light is now nerfed as well by baseline 15%. Divine's Image reduced by 35. Divine's Image Blessed Light 20%. Trail of Light replicates heals of Flash Heal for 1325. Before it was 1835. Pontifex increased healing done by Holy Words by 20%, stacking to 2 times. So they made this better, Pontifex, to make the talent more popular. I don't know if this is enough though. I have no clue about Holy. Echo of Light heals every 2 seconds and lasts 4 seconds. Was healed every 3 seconds and lasts 6 seconds. Okay. So the healing is just over 4 seconds instead of over 6 seconds. It's just quicker. OP buff for mastery, okay. I mean, the thing with simple is such a strong cooldown, right? Which makes Holy really, really sick. They didn't nerf symbols, right? Or did they? Yeah, they did actually, right? They did nerf symbol already. I think. Yeah, it's 40 seconds. I believe it was a minute before. Okay, Rogue now. Airborne Irritant. Move to the class tree. Was an outlaw. And has been adjusted. Blind has a 50% reduced cooldown. 40% reduced duration. And applies to all enemies. Guys, so what that means is that it is now a choice node between Gouge and this talent. But this talent is really fucking sick, by the way. You reduce the duration of blind. Sure, that could be a negative in some cases. But the cooldown of it is reduced by 50%. And like you see it here, it says 47%. And then it's like an AoE blind, you can see. Like it's so fucking good. So you just have like an AoE stop every minute or so. But it's instead of Gouge, though. That's the only thing. Mark for Death is gone. So, and also they removed Dreadblades. So it's not a choice node with Ghostly Strike anymore. This is just boom, boom, boom. So we have Asa. Envenom's explosion damage has been increased by 230%. Caustic splatter damage increased by 35%. Dashing Scoundrel is now 1 point talent instead of 2. Indiscriminate Carnage is now 10 seconds instead of 3. Scent of Blood increases agility by 2.4 instead of 1.53. It goes up to 20% instead of 24. So, like, you only need 5 rupture targets to reach the max amount. Quicker to stack up. Grand Melee has been adjusted. It increases damage by 5%. Let's see if we can roll it. And Blade Fury deals 10% additional damage to nearby targets. So it's redesigned. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if this is a bug, but if you look here when I'm doing single target damage, guys, Blade Fury is currently doing damage to my main target. Look. It's kind of cracked, like, it's gonna be my top damage. Because 50% of all my damage is, goes into my Blade Flurry. I noticed this earlier. Look how stupid that is. Single target Blade Flurry is literally a top damage. so weird, dude. Your senpai, I think it's on shoulder 5. Crackshot damage with this patch reduced to 75%. Before it was 100, so they nerfed Crackshot a bit. And Dreadblades has been removed. Stiletto, Staccato, and Stunning Secret have been removed. This is in sub. 4 months bite cooldown, 45 instead of 1 minute. And they increase the damage of Secret Technique. So the only nerf that Rogue got hit by was the Crackshot. And I guess you could say that Dreadblades got removed, which was a really good talent that was gone. But I really like Ghost Strike as well. The rest was just buffs to an already fucking disgusting spec. And they removed AoE Kidney. I believe. Tried Arcane yet? No, I have not. I'm just reading the notes and we're gonna go in and check after. How good are the Asa changes? I haven't played too much Asa. I will definitely like set it up and play it a bit. But Asa was already good, right? And this is all buffs. I don't know how impactful buffs they are, but I just see damage increases. I don't know how, like 230%. This was either something that did piss damage, and that's why it got buffed. Let's look at the rogue set bonus from Asa. So here, let's see. So this 4 set bonus, damage 30. Let's see here. Envenom. When you envenom, when envenom is already active, explodes, dealing nature damage to all enemies within 8 yards. Deals reduced damage beyond 8 targets. Okay. Napkin math, it was needed to be at least 5% buff to be meaningful. Okay. But with the 4-piece bonus that you have right now, with this increase, on single target, do you want to make sure that you always Venom while Envenom is up? Like you want to try not to like drop it or what? Or is that not, is there other priorities than that? Kinda a shame that it's a bad tier set. It doesn't scale with combo points, right? I don't know. Let's see Shaman. The 4-piece bonus has been redesigned when consuming Primordial Wave and for 10 seconds after. Lava Burst burns your target for 25% additional damage over 4 seconds. Okay. So 10 seconds after you press Primordial Wave, each Lava Burst you send for the next 10 seconds will burn for 25% additional damage as a dot. And for 10 seconds, each cast of Chain Lightning causes your next Lava Burst to hit up to 3 additional targets affected by a Flame Shock. 100% damage. Okay, that sounds pretty cool, to be honest. Good. Seems like nice changes. Been a long time since I played Ellie, though. Versus Shadowlands. Shaman best free target cleave spec. Can you hit all 3 targets on the council boss? Because they're a little bit spread. I don't know how big the shootout is. Because like if you're looking at an evoker, right? Devastation Evoker and Augmentation Evoker, the living flame spread is really fucking massive. So cause your next Lava Burst to hit up to 3 additional targets affected by a Flame Shock. So I'd imagine if all 3 targets on the council boss, even though they're spread out, has Flame Shock, it should hit them all, right? That's pretty good. I don't know if the Chain Lightning reaches all 3 though. Like let's say you hit the middle guy and they're standing like somewhat in between, like how big is how many yards away from your main target will the Chain Lightning spread off? Is it like big enough? Chain Lightning? Yeah, okay, so the Lava Burst will definitely hit. I'm thinking about the Chain Lightnings. That will hit all 3. Maybe it doesn't need to. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe just Chain Lightning, Lava Burst, Chain Lightning, Lava Burst, Chain Lightning, Lava Burst. You already used Chain on 2 targets. That makes it more natural, I guess, so it doesn't really matter, worst case. Okay, Riptide, Healing Surge, and Healing Ram doing a lot more healing. No, with Riptide, Healing Surge, and Healing Wave doing a lot more healing, Ancestral Awakening's power was increased beyond intended levels. So Ancestral Awakening is nerfed. It's now 1020 instead of 1530. Ancestral Awakening now prefers to heal injured players instead of always healing the lowest health player. Okay. So, injured players, what is that priority? Does this mean that players that have a debuff on them, like what does injured player instead of the lowest player? This is some healer thing, like how spells work. It's just random damaged player instead of lowest player. Or what? Guess you have to test things like this. Yeah. Amidrasil, the 2-set bonus has been adjusted. Tidal Reservoir now heals 15% of all Riptide healing done. It was 20% and now lasts for 15 seconds. Okay, so little bit of a percentage healing nerf, but duration is increased by 5 seconds. That bonus has been adjusted. Chance to create a new Riptide has been reduced to 5%. Shaman. Wait. There it is. Yeah. Chain heal, healing surge, healing wave marks the initial target with a reservoir, causing them to receive 50% of all Riptide healing you deal for 10 seconds. Yeah. It actually says here that that it's 15%. Okay, Warlock. 4 pieces, let's see here. So Riptide healing is increased by 15%. And if Riptide is active on the same target as Tidal Reservoir, its heal over time effects has a 10% chance to create a new Riptide on a nearby ally. And now it's just only 5%. Okay, Affliction Warlock. The set bonus has been redesigned. So Soul Rot grants free Umbrifier Kindling, which increases the damage of a next Malefic Rapture by 50%, or your Seed of Corruption by 60%. Additionally, Umbrifier Kindling causes Malefic Rapture to extend the duration of your damage over time effects and Haunt by 2 seconds. So the problem with Affliction, at least when you're playing like the raid build, and you had so many freaking dots to maintain, and you didn't really have anything, like you were dotting all of this shit, and when you had all dots up, you'd press Dark Glare, and then you would be using your Malefic Rapture to like get as much damage out as possible, right? While you had as many dots up as you can, but you had to really use a fuck ton of globals on reapplying dots all the time. The fact that you can extend the duration of your dots, that must seem like a way more, like a bigger quality of life thing. It also makes the spec easier to play, right? It seems like. Like, what did you have? You had Corruption, you had Agony, you have UA, you have Haunt, you have Siphon Life, and you have Soul Rot, and then you Dark Glare, right? I think that's all. You have Vile Taint as well, yeah. My nameplates ran out of space. See, Agony's duration is lower than Vile Taint cooldown. Nice. Yeah, that seems nice though. Whenever you press Soul Rot, you gain free Kindling, Umbrifier. Yeah. So the next free Malefic Raptures or Seeds that you do makes your Seed of Corruption or Malefic Rapture do increased damage, and makes your Malefic Rapture extend the duration of your overtime effects. So every time you press Soul Rot, you gain 6 additional seconds on all of your dots, and you get increased damage from Malefic Rapture. That's how I read it, right? So, I mean, I think most Warlocks played Affliction in PTR, but that was because the other specs were kind of in the dumpster. But that looks like that is changing right now. They completely stabbed this spec in the back, only to have it readjusted and go back onto hero class again. All Nether Portal Steam is increased by 30%, but it's capped at 10 imps, right? You can only have 10 imps. Gul'dan's Ambition has been redesigned. When Nether Portal ends, you summon a Pit Lord that blasts your target for fire damage every 1 second for 10 seconds. Okay. Demonic Tyrant's Demon Fire increased by 30%. Reign of Tyranny has been redesigned. Summoning Demonic Tyrant empowers 5 additional wild imps and deals 10% additional damage for each imp he empowers. Okay, so a strong Tyrant with 10 imps up. Will be a 100% damage increase on the Tyrant. Fixed an issue where your permanently summoned Felguard will not benefit from summon Demonic Tyrant. Okay, so let me see. Summon Demonic Tyrant. What is it that Tyrant exactly does? It's supposed to buff your Increase the duration of the Dreadstalker's Vile Fiend and up to 10% of your items. Yeah. The demonic tyrant increases the damage of affected demons while damaging a target. Okay, so it's just the permanent summon Felguard did not get the 15% increased damage that it gives. I see, okay. Demon Bolt damage 30%, Hand of Gul'dan 25, Wild Imp damage increased by 25, Implosion 25, Shadow Bolt 30, Dreadstalker 25, Felguard 30. Okay. Immutable Hatred has been redesigned. The primary Felguard's Legion Strike deals 100% increased damage to its primary target. The primary Felguard deals physical damage after auto-attacking the same enemy 3 consecutive times. Okay. What does this actually mean? Your primary Felguard's Legion Strike deals 100% increased damage to its primary target. Your primary Felguard deals physical damage after auto-attacking the same enemy 3 times. What do they mean by physical damage? What does this change? Your primary Felguard's Legion Strike deals to its primary target. I see. Yeah, Midricil. The 2-step bonus has been changed. Demon Bolt now employs a Doom brand that explodes after 20 seconds, dealing shadow damage to nearby enemies. Hand of Gul'dan reduces the duration of your active Doom brands by 1 second per soul shot spent. Okay, so you want to... Wait, so Demon Bolt... Since the fire soul of a fallen demon at the enemy... Okay, so... You want to send Demon Bolt... And then you want to spend the soul shards. And then it explodes. And that also got buffed. This explosion got buffed. And then you want to send Demon Bolt again. Spend soul shards. Is it just like a thing you always want to have Doom Brand on the target or what, I guess? As a result, Demon do 130k single target PTR right now. I chose to watch the stream and you play Soy FM music. I got scammed. Oh my god. It's only because I put some chill music because I was talking about the PTR changes. So I didn't want to have some crazy blast music while we're sitting here reading shit. It plays as a dog shit on multiple targets. I see. The chance of Doom Brand to summon a Doom Fiend has been increased. And the 4-set bonus has also been redesigned. When Doom Brand explodes, you have a chance to summon a Doom Fiend that casts 5 Demon Bolt volleys before departing. Each Demon Bolt volley deals shadow damage up to 4 nearby enemies. Okay. So every time it explodes, the chance for you to summon this Doom Fiend is now increased. Let's see Destro. Rain of Fire, 15% increased damage. Set bonus has been adjusted. Bolt from Dimensional Rift now deals 25% of damage dealt to nearby enemies. Immolate periodic damage has a chance to grant a charge of Dimensional Rift. This one, right? Rips a hole in time, opening a random portal that damages your target. Okay, so depending on which one you get. And the bolts from the deal 25% of damage dealt to nearby enemies. A charge. Oh, I see. It has 3 charges. It's a spell with 3 charges. Yeah. And it can also, when you press it, has a chance to summon a powerful Flame Rift, which blasts 20 Searing Bolts to deal fire damage and additional... Okay. You get the Empowered Rift. Yeah, so you... Okay, I see. So you pray that you get the good one. Okay. Let's see. Flame Rift does 0 damage, and Dimensional Rift barely does damage over the choice node it shares. Holy fuck. That's some shit design. Rally increases the maximum health by 10% instead of 15. Inspiring Presence. Rallying Cry's duration and health granted are increased by 20%. No, that's the Finesse Conduit. It was this. So, Rally was 20% and 3 seconds increased duration. So now it's 10-second duration. Ten seconds. Yeah. I mean, Rally was a little bit too broken, right? Like, I mean, still gonna be good, but at least now it's not as OP. Arms got damaged from Slam and Proof Slam. Okay, so that is a big crit nerf actually, but the damage is increased instead. Protection. Consuming bleeds now grants a damage reduction to the warrior instead of applying a damage dealt reduction to the target. Now consumes 40% of the remaining bleed damage. Was 100% when casting Shield Slam. Thunderous Roar cooldown reduction increased to 3 seconds. Was 1. Okay, so they buffed the 4 set and it now makes the warrior take reduced damage instead of applying a damage dealt reduction to the target. So this is way better when there's more targets hitting you. But the damage effect of it is reduced. There was also another thing with warrior, right? It was something with what was it that I read? There was something with warriors gaining damage reduction instead of armor. Or it was prop Pala, of course, guys. I was like, it was the prop Paladin, yes. I was just brain deceit. I was just, it was protection Pala, not protection warrior, I read. That's a good change though. Here is the changes. There you go. Okay. That was the changes. Your bonuses. We read this already, the changes. One more thing as well. There is going to be a Season Mastery, guys, achievement coming again. On top of the fact that the Catalyst is now available from week 1 onwards. That means if you do kill the boss on Heroic or you achieve X amount of M+ score, you can guarantee 2Ps immediately from achievement and from Catalyst. Meaning that you only need 2 additional tier pieces to complete your 4 set early on. And the Curio is also available. So that means that the last boss will also drop additional tier sets, right? So there's Catalyst, you can convert into tier. There is the achievement, which gives you a tier piece of your choice. There is the tier pieces dropping from each individual boss, on top of the fact that the last boss drops Curios too, which you can convert into tier in the vendor. There's a lot of sources of tier, which will definitely make it easier to get your 4 piece. So that's also good changes. We read all of these changes. There's some cool emerald dream mounts that looks like this, for those who cares. They'll be obtainable from Elania with a new currency called Dream Infusion. You don't know how to obtain the currency yet, but you'll learn it by reaching Renown 5 with the Dream Wardens. So yeah, for those who care about mounts, you can get all of these cool-looking mounts if you are a collector.